What if I told you the deadliest nightmare in Fee history isn't drifting in space anymore, but lurking right here on our planet? What if I told you that the next season of Alien Earth might bring the Xenomorph outbreak into a major city, packed with millions of innocent people, and that this isn't just speculation, but something the showrunner himself revealed in a moment that almost slipped under the radar? Sounds insane, right? But here's the real question. If aliens are finally unleashed in a crowded metropolis, would humanity even stand a chance before the entire world burns? Now, before you think I'm exaggerating, let me remind you, every time Hollywood tried to expand the alien universe, we got messy dead ends, half-finished storylines, promises with no payoff. But this time it's different, because Noah Hawley, the mastermind behind Alien Earth, has a forbidden blueprint, a plan that stretches years into the future, with Season 2 being the turning point. And yet, there's a problem, a controversial one. Because while Season 1 introduced us to corporations, synths, hybrids, and 5 rival factions clawing at power, fans are asking, where are the Xenomorphs? Where's the horror we were promised? That's the painful truth. Some viewers feel like Alien Earth has been more a corporate chess game than terrifying survival. And trust me, I get it. You clicked play on an alien show because you wanted face huggers leaping out of shadows, not boardroom politics about immortality patents. But here's the twist: Noah Hawley isn't ignoring the aliens. He's building the perfect trap, and when it snaps shut in Season 2, the fallout will make every movie in the franchise look small in comparison. See, the secret, and I do mean secret, is that Hawley is treating Alien Earth like Game of Thrones. Yes, you heard me right. Remember when Jaram said, if you take away the dragons and zombies, you still have a story about power and corruption? That's exactly the forbidden knowledge Hawley is applying here. Remove the Xenomorphs for a moment, and what you have is a drama about greed, control, and the fragility of humanity. Then, when the Xenomorphs do arrive, they're not just monsters. They're extinction-level catalysts. Think about it. In Season 1, the corporations Wayland, Yutani, and Prodigy circled each other, but 3 other shadowy factions were left waiting in the wings. Why? Because Hawley isn't writing a story about a monster. He's writing a story about how humanity creates the perfect environment for monsters to thrive. And that's why Season 2 won't just be another survival thriller. It's going to be an unfolding apocalypse. Now let's pause for a second. Imagine this: you're walking through the crowded streets of New York. Millions of people shoulder to shoulder. A scream echoes through the subway tunnels. Within seconds, something black and slick disappears into the crowd. Tell me honestly, would you run or freeze? Because that's exactly the nightmare Hawley wants us to imagine. I'll be blunt. This is why you absolutely need to subscribe to this channel right now. Because we're not just dropping news, we're decoding the hidden roadmap of Alien Earth, step by step. And when Season 2 explodes into chaos, you'll want to be the first to say you knew it was coming. But here's where things get even more twisted. Hawley revealed that Season 1 is set in 2120, 2 years before Ripley and the Nostromo wake up, which means Season 2 will run parallel to the timeline of Alien and Aliens. That's forbidden territory. Because while Ripley was fighting for survival light years away, Earth itself may have already been infected, its corporations quietly bearing the evidence. Think about the implications for a moment. Ripley wakes up believing she's the first to truly face the alien threat. But what if Earth already knew? What if the corporations already experimented, already weaponized, already lost control? That changes the entire franchise. It rewrites the mythos we thought was set in stone. And it's not just theory. Hawley said it himself: he has a destination in mind. He's not making this up on the fly. He knows where the story ends, and that ending isn't on some remote island. It's in a major, populated city where millions of potential hosts are just waiting to be harvested. You see the loop now. Season 1 was the setup. Season 2 is the detonation. And every clue points toward the outbreak breaking containment. But let me ask you, if Season 2 does take us into a city, do you think humanity's greatest threat would be the Xenomorphs themselves? Or the corporations trying to weaponize them? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I'll be reading them. And honestly, this is the kind of theory war I love seeing explode in the community. And speaking of corporations, let's not forget Wendy, the hybrid played by Sydney Chandler. She's not just another character. She's the wild card. The fans are already split. Some believe she's destined to be humanity's savior, bridging the gap between human and alien. Others believe she's one step away from being the deadliest villain in franchise history. Personally, I think she's the ticking bomb in Hawley's entire plan. Because if she turns, she won't just threaten humanity, she'll threaten the aliens too. Let's pull back to a wider view. Season 1 already gave us a taste of forbidden science-y synth anatomy, hybrid experiments, cyborg integration. But those were just appetizers. Season 2, with Earth itself in play, will serve us the full course. And I'm telling you right now, the final dish is going to be messy, bloody, and unforgettable. So let me loop this back to the biggest pain point. Fans wanted monsters, not meetings. But Hawley is proving that the two are inseparable. Because when the boardroom fights over power, the monsters are the ones who win. And that's just page 1 of this breakdown. Stay with me, because in the next section, we're going deeper into the secret inspirations Hawley pulled from Tesla, Westinghouse, and real-world corporate wars that shape the very DNA of Alien Earth. And trust me, you've never seen the franchise through this lens before. Let's uncover a secret most viewers completely missed. Alien Earth isn't just science fiction. It's a mirror of history. And Noah Hawley straight up admitted it. He said the battle for control of the Xenomorphs, their biology, their immortality potential, their terrifying reproductive cycle, was inspired by the real-life war between Nikola Tesla and George Westinghouse. Yes, you heard that right. Not some sci-fi myth, not a random analogy, but the actual struggle over electricity. Think about that for a second. In the late 1800s, Tesla and Westinghouse were fighting over who would control the future of energy. One mistake, one deal, and history could have gone in a completely different direction. Now fast forward to the year 2120. Corporations in Alien Earth aren't just squabbling over patents. They're fighting to decide who controls life itself. Immortality. Power over death. Here's the forbidden truth. Hawley isn't writing about aliens at all. He's writing about us. About how our greed will always push us to weaponize, monetize, and industrialize even the deadliest things imaginable. And if you think that's just subtext, let's test it. Imagine the Xenomorphs weren't monsters at all. Imagine they were simply a new form of energy. Wouldn't the same greedy corporations still fight for control? Wouldn't governments still cover it up? Wouldn't we, humanity, still exploit it until it destroyed us? That's the painful irony of Alien Earth. The monsters aren't just xenomorphs. The monsters are the people sitting in glass towers, signing contracts, and thinking they can outsmart biology. Now let's bring this back to Season 2. If Hawley is pulling from Tesla and Westinghouse, then every corporate war in the show is more than just drama, it's prophecy. Because history already told us what happens when you gamble with forces bigger than yourself. Someone gets burned. Someone gets erased. Someone pays the price. And this is where Wendy comes in. Sydney Chandler's hybrid character isn't just another side plot. She's the embodiment of this corporate greed colliding with human vulnerability. She's literally the experiment. Part human, part synthetic, part something else. Here's my controversial take: Wendy isn't going to save anyone. She's going to break the entire system. Look closely at Season 1. Every time Wendy was near the Xenomorphs, there was this strange pull. A forbidden connection. Some fans think she's destined to become a Ripley-style hero, but what if that's a trap? What if she's being groomed by the writers to become the ultimate villain? A hybrid with human intelligence and alien instincts, able to manipulate both sides.